Hey there, this is Dr. Evan Osar, founder of Fitness Education Seminars and author of the Corrective Exercise Solutions to Common Hip and Shoulder Dysfunction. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Today we're going to talk about groin injuries, specifically groin pulls, strains, and or impingement injuries of the anterior hip. Why do so many of our recreational and professional athletes get groin injuries? We see a lot in the literature and online about stretching, foam rolling, strengthening, things like that. But I'm here to tell you that there's three key reasons why people get groin injuries. None of them have to do with stretching and or strengthening. So what are the three reasons that people get groin injuries? Number one reason is poor core stability. I know what you're thinking. Well, my client or my athlete has a strong core. Like I said, it's about stability, not strength. They did a study on rugby players, those who had groin injuries and those who didn't. And in that study, what it showed is the individuals with groin injuries fired their obliques before they fired their transverse abdominis. The ones that weren't injured, guess what? They fired their transverse abdominis before their obliques. So again, it's timing and control, not strength. All athletes, most athletes are strong, so it's not about strength. So we have a preferential recruitment of the superficial muscles, and if we have a delayed response or absent response of the deep muscles, we're going to have to over-recruit the adductors, hamstrings, erectors to create better stability of our core, and therefore we overuse these muscles, and now they're more prone to injury. Number two reason, sacroiliac joint instability. Another study was done on people with pelvic girdle pain, so pain somewhere in the pelvis, mostly the SI joint. And what they showed in these individuals, similar findings. These clients fired their adductors and biceps femoris before they fired their deep core muscles, the transverse abdominis and internal oblique. So again, the people with pain fired the adductors and biceps femoris before the transverse abdominis. The people without pain fired the transverse abdominis before their adductors and biceps femoris when they went into single leg stance. So again, our athletes moving into single leg stance, if they have any kind of pain, pelvic girdle pain, low back pain, and or inability to fire the muscles in the right fashion, they're going to overuse those biceps femoris, their adductors, to create stability of the sacroiliac joint and therefore be more susceptible to injuring those muscles. And the third reason is improper hip centration. Too many of our clients are taught, even athletes, have evaluated a lot of professional athletes, and they all have, or most of them have, this similar problem. When they utilize their posterior hip complex, they've been taught to squeeze and drive that femoral head forward in the socket. Once you decentrate the socket, or decentrate the femoral head in the acetabulum, now you're going to have to overuse a lot of the superficial muscles, specifically the adductors and biceps femoris, to create more stability of the hip rather than being able to use the psoas and those deep hip rotators to pull that femoral head back in the acetabulum and centrate it properly. So what can you do to help your clients that have groin injuries? Do whatever foam rolling, stretching, strengthening things that you want to do. But here are the things that you really want to focus on. Improve how they breathe, improve how they activate their core. You have to get better stabilization of their core, get better activation and recruitment of the transverse abdominis, and down train how much they're using their external and internal, or external obliques specifically, and rectus abdominis specifically. Number two, create better sacroiliac joint stability. So again, if you work with a physical therapist or chiropractic physician, work with them to help your client develop better sacroiliac stability. Sometimes you need to do some release work. Sometimes you have to do better activation. Sometimes you need a joint manipulation. But work with somebody who understands sacroiliac joint mechanics so you can see how the person's loading and can they stabilize the sacroiliac joint when they get on one leg. If they cannot, they're going to overuse those adductors and biceps femoris to create stability. Third, what you can really do as a fitness professional is really teach your clients how to centrate their hip. So when you're doing lunge patterns, squat patterns, deadlift patterns, do not teach your clients to drive forward and squeeze their glutes because you decentrate the hip. Teach them how to come up into an extended position, come up in an extended position, use the glutes, but not drive forward and not create that huge divot in their lateral hip. Make sure that they can centrate the hip in the socket, and now you can start to get better function of the gluteal complex, of the psoas, and those deep hip rotators that help keep the hips centrated. And you're going to help these clients really improve low back pain, sacroiliac joint pain, and these chronic groin strains. I hope this video helped you. I hope it made sense. feel free to send me questions if you have any questions about this video. Have a great day. We'll catch you next time at Fitness Insider.